Well, this sure is in Amsterdam. I am at the base of Mount Disappointment, and over there is Mount San Gabriel, I think. But I'm going up Mount Disappointment today. Not that I'm disappointed or anything. I'm rather the complete opposite. Let's take a moment to see where I am right now. This is a crazy view. I decided that I wanted to take a little hike today. And by little, I mean drive up into the Los Angeles National Forest and stop at some trailhead and start hiking. I guess I'm like 8,000 feet up in the air or something, which the last time I was up this high was maybe when I did took a camcorder up to the Rocky Mountains. I spontaneously flew there back when I lived in Kentucky and just got some serene looking footage. But I'm only here now for yet another funny set of coincidences and circumstances. I was supposed to be doing visuals at Coachella, believe it or not. I guess you may take a guess at which band it was supposed to be for. Unfortunately, they pulled out for reasons, well, I won't get into. All that I will say about that is I would have encouraged them to do the thing, but alas, I am not the one making decisions. But that's all right, because I know this is only a temporary lull in their careers and in mine. Coachella will be in my sights sooner than I think, probably. I mean, considering that I was this close already at the age of 23 to doing visuals on a big LED wall in the biggest music festival in the United States, well, I think that's pretty promising, so I'll probably be back there before I know it. So I decided that with the plane tickets that I already had, or rather, they got me, I decided I would just go to Los Angeles anyways and visit my family and meet up with some people and kind of just do what I was going to be doing in Amsterdam anyways, which is just doing some remote work and video editing and whatnot. And basically, now I'm taking this moment to do a little hike. And yeah, goodness, there's a lot of things I can reflect on. What you could guess, it's been 6-7 months since my last glitch vlog when I talked about moving to Amsterdam and the circumstances that led to that and what had happened up to that point. And so you should watch that if you have no idea what's happening. I mean, not that I know what's happening. I'm kind of just, as usual, along for the ride, taking whatever opportunities come my way. But back to Mount Disappointment, the mountain I am currently climbing. I don't really get disappointed much about anything these days. And I decided like years ago that I would be with the attitude that if you don't have expectations, then there's nothing to be disappointed about. So in general, my bar in life is pretty low, and everything is just a big icing on the cake. But as long as I got a place to sleep, enough money to buy food and groceries, and bombs aren't falling on my head, then I'm generally happy. And so to climb to whatever heights in my life really is kind of just a big plus. On top of that, I think it's easy to lose sight of how bad things could be in life. I think for the most part, most people live in, are fortunate, controversial opinion, but I think most people do live in good quality of life standards compared to, well, I don't know, people in Gaza or Ukraine right now. So that's what grounds me. That's what keeps me sane and focused. I'm always just thinking about what the next move can be and what's the next exciting thing I can do. Not getting too torn up or distressed if something doesn't work out. 'Cause there's always there's plenty of life left to take chances. Ooh. This is like some road leading up to what I guess is like a cell service tower or something. And I'm gonna take a breather when I get up there. I think I've been hiking for like an hour. Yeah. How fortunate I am to have family living out in Southern California. Otherwise, I don't know how I'd be able to enjoy myself as much here. You know, needing to find accommodations and all that. My family has an interesting story. Because nobody in my family circles was born in the United States. And so we're entirely a family of immigrants. And as I grow older, I am more and more proud of what we accomplished, coming from whether it was former Yugoslavia or the collapsed Soviet Empire. We made it a pretty long way, considering that some of us live just in the span of a few decades in a nice place in Southern California, which for most people, or I should say most people from the post-Soviet world, California is still like the dream place you want to be. Like, it's the promised land. It's like the best of the best place in the world to live, the most beautiful landscapes and opportunities, and the place to pursue the American dream and to finally live in freedom. Freedom. In the land of the free, we sure are. And even that is a controversial statement. Everybody, regardless of political affiliation, has their disagreements and opinions about how free this country is, but I don't know. I don't want to think about that right now. I'm kind of feeling quite free standing up here with this insane view. I can't remember the last time I've seen such a beautiful view. This is more beautiful than... This has got to be one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. There sure isn't this in the Netherlands, where it's flat as hell. There ain't mountains for miles to be seen. Of course, that's the life I chose. Moved to the flattest country on earth, while me being a mountain lover. The irony. But you know, you choose your battles. I'm really happy living in Amsterdam, in case you didn't notice. And yeah, I guess I could take this moment to think about, well, it is coming up on a year since I moved from the US to the Netherlands. And I have to say it's been a success, and I'm really happy. And things are moving quite well, despite some setbacks, which I, obviously mentioned earlier. But like, going back to not having really any expectations, I'm still like, of the feeling that like all this is just like pretty crazy epic. Like the fact that I'm even here, like even if I'm not working at it, Coachella or whatever, like this is still pretty freaking awesome. And like, I could have been perfectly happy spending these last months just like kind of quietly grinding away at my craft and working some coffee shop or bar, which I've thus far avoided doing. And I would still be like considering it a success, because I'm just really just trying to live life and pursue my dreams, I guess. What even are my dreams? I guess I thought about that, obviously, having moved and being a full-time freelancer. What do I want to strive for? What are my goal? What am I even doing? That's the big question, right? What is anybody doing? I feel like it's become more clear to me with time, especially with having worked with some bands that go on tour. I really want to be a part of nice, large experiences with music and visuals and lights. The sort of events that people will gather all together to go see. Because as I have concluded before, I don't believe in anything except for live music. And what I really mean by that is the creative expression and like gathering together to enjoy music and art and creative things, and kind of forgetting for a moment about the petty and more worrisome things about life, and then remembering what makes life worth living or enjoyable even. And I feel I have the ability to be a part of that and make memorable moments and good experience with visuals and just memorable things that people will feel good about and just have something to talk about and memories to look back on. And that's really what life is about. And I encourage people who feel negative about things and wish have a sort of negative vibe, even if intended to be well-meaning, to just not forget what really brings happiness in life. Because I think everybody should strive, provided that they've got the bases in life covered. I think people should strive to make a positive difference. Positive meaning, the bare minimum, not destroying something, not taking something away from somebody, not ruining or placing obstacles in front of people who you may think are bad or evil even. But here's the thing. There is no such thing as good or bad people in life. There's only good or bad actions to be compared against, well, a lifetime of other good or bad actions. And it's all in relative terms. What outcomes bring the most good, and what brings positivity to the world, I guess. All the philosophical whatever I'm saying is probably because I'm again, so high up in the sky. I don't even know if I have the ability to think about forming sentences. Or the ability to even know what to say next. Oh my God. I'm just happy overall. Being here, being alive, not being bombed by artillery, and that's why I'm always gonna be happy. And just being a creative person making a positive difference. And I just don't want to lose sight of that. I just want to be making a positive difference, and I hope that everybody going through a difficult time, feeling down, feeling negative, that they can work through that and come to a place where they are happy. Moving takes some. Everything is temporary. Nothing's permanent. Things can change. If something is broken, it can still be fixed. And that's all I have to say. I hope that this wasn't too much of a noodle soup of thought. Again, I am kind of oxygen depleted because I'm so high up. I'll stand one last time on this rock and say my goodbyes. I will see you at another time. Who knows where my next glitch vlog will be? I don't know these days where I'm gonna end up in the world. So that's really exciting. And thanks for being a part of this, observing this journey. of which you can be a participant of. Maybe. I don't know. There's lots of the story yet to be written. Peace. I'll see you another time.